I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown! Hello, welcome back Tuesday. Like clockwork, baby. Woo, 8:30 on the dot, and you're like, boom, hit that button.
Except
You forgot to schedule it?
last week. And I forgot to schedule it too. So,
Well, last week was the con. You already warned everybody.
I did warn everybody. So we were at Dice Tower Con last week. So exciting.
Yes.
It was quite the journey, there and back.
There and back again?
There and back again.
Yes, indeed. So how many hours is it driving from here to
17
Orlando?
hours.
There you go. We did split it up.
We did split it in 2
A little
days.
bit, just a little bit.
But we're back,
Hi,
barely.
Paul.
I'm still got the con scruff going.
That's good. That's good. Shows you're on vacation. I like it.
Yeah, so we went to Dice Tower convention last week and got there Monday evening, and stayed until Sunday afternoon. So what we did is I put together a short little video, about 6-minute video that is like pictures and stuff, and I recorded walking through the area and junk like that. And then we'll come back and we'll talk all about it.
All the games.
All about it. Here we go. And we're off. So I left our mic.
Ooh. There's Manny. So they can hear us?
Yes. So we got a villa this time. We haven't done that before. That was pretty cool.
That was very cool. Worth it, too. I like how everybody was looking so thoughtful.
So this is the Wits and Wagers.
Oh my gosh, that was greatness.
They did 2 shows. The Wits and Wagers. I went to both. Rebecca only did 1.
That was our team dinner theater. We were greatness. That was so much fun. All the games. Nessa played a bunch of games with us, as you can see. Actually, right there, I think she was chilling, but she did play a lot with that. That's that Terracotta Army game,
yeah,
right?
and I get to play with the Board and Dice podcast. They were really cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Not Board and Dice. Beans and Dice.
Beans and Dice?
I'll talk about that more later.
That's a hoot.
This is the flea market. That was exciting.
That was chaotic goodness. I missed out on a golden opportunity there. I like that Manny switched up what games he's playing, too.
And Pitch Car.
Pitch Car, I'll talk about that in a little bit. May have participated.
Who's this guy?
That's it.
Here's the walkthrough video. It's kind of shaky cam, but I walked through the entire, almost all I didn't do the side rooms, but I walked through most of the convention.
It's ginormous too.
So we're gonna let you watch, and we're gonna cut our mics. I'm sure we're not adding this. Are we adding this?
Totally.
Yeah.
Hey, we're
All right.
back. Actually,
All
that
right.
was fun. That was
So
fun.
I did my best with my shaky camera, with my cell phone. I just want to kind of give you a feel for the size of the convention and what was going on. There was 1,600 people attended the convention.
Nice.
They sold 1,700 tickets, but only 1,600 showed. The vendor hall, when you saw what it was probably 20 vendors, maybe something like that. And then they had a bunch of demos going on, things like that. They had some side rooms where there was like a family play area and some other places, quiet games, party games, a little side area you can do stuff in. But it's really, it just feels like a small town convention with just more people there.
Yeah, this is by far the easiest. If you ever want to go and try to get into gaming and just like learn about games, but you don't have anybody to game with, this is the best place by far to just go and jump in. Everybody was walking around with the teachers or players wanted signs. Just people walking around too, be like, seeing meandering folks would be like, hey, are you looking for a game? We're going to play, I mean, it was all around, and it was really nice to see that. That's something that they really push. In fact, didn't Tom, he takes out the solo elements of
he takes all the solo and the big two-player games out of the library to get people to play with each other.
Yeah, and it's all about, like Kabuki just mentioned, a true gaming con. The vendors and stuff are really awesome. I think they add a lot of great flavor to it. It helps promote the gaming, not just going and shopping and stuff, because they had stuff, most of the booths had like demos going and this and that and stuff to help you go play more games or to try, they were demoing games you could buy on the spot and stuff like that. It was really, this is my favorite kind of convention, straight up.
I don't know if you could tell from the camera, but Rebecca hit on it. The back wall of that vendor area was just nothing but demo tables full of demo games.
And they were always busy.
And it was about 3/4 of it was publishers that were demoing the games that were for sale. So it's not like they were demoing stuff that was for the future for the most part. There was a few that were Kickstarters coming and things like that. But they had a small little section of local publishers demoing their games as well. Cool. Or designers, not publishers, local designers.
That's cool. That's really
demoing their games. So it was a good experience. It feels like I said, a really small gaming convention that more people are at.
Yes.
All right.
The weather. Tommy was commenting on the weather, and yes, the weather, and we're from Texas. Right now it's triple digits, and they're talking about rolling blackouts in the works, but Florida's a whole nother level because it doesn't even have to get that hot, but then the humidity is like cranked up to 11 to the fact where it looks like on the doors, it looks like it's rained because of the difference between the AC and the outdoors. Right. I mean, it hits you like a wall. I don't even know how to explain it unless you've been there and experienced it.
Tom said it was unseasonably hot that week too. It was in the low to mid 90s and that's hot. Felt like 110 plus.
Yeah, because of the humidity. But one thing that was kind of nice is it seemed like there were a lot of afternoon storm things that would blow in, and you could feel like everything cool off. It was pretty refreshing. You know what also helped? The swimming pool.
Yeah. That is true.
There were many options to help survive. Staying in and playing games in the air conditioning, going swimming.
All right. Let's jump in. If you have any questions about the con, feel free to ask.
Yes, definitely.
But we're going to talk about the games we played.
Yes, indeed.
So let's do it.
Okay,
I don't know what that 12/10.
What's 12 out of 10? Does that mean?
No, that's our little our running total of our played games.
But
I don't know why it popped into that cutscene.
I don't know. That was really cool.
Where does that say?
It said 12 out of 10.
Oh, I think I randomly put that in there. I better take that out or I'll do it again. No, I can't. I can't do it. I'll run it again.
All right. Exciting.
So I played 20 different games while I was in the mission, which is small for me, but a couple of things. One, I worked during the convention. So I worked almost every morning. Yes. I worked every morning of the convention. And some early evenings, and it was last time we had Dice Tower Con in 2019. I couldn't go, but I convinced my boss to let me work half days. So I was working a lot, and I think we kind of turned this into a real vacation, where we took it easy. We slept in. Well, she slept in. I worked in the mornings, but
Yeah.
slept in. We did swimming. We did meals. We actually took the time to go out to get meals and things like that. So we turned it into a vacation. So what I'm saying is 20 is not a lot.
Not too bad. Not too bad, though.
Not a lot, but good for the situation.
It's true.
All right, so we always rank these from worst to best.
Oh, I can't wait to see your rankings because we played a lot of
Interesting games.
experimental games, shall we say. Some games we had no idea what they'd be like, had no information, just dove in, and it's
All right,
great.
so my number 20.
I love
My
it.
number 20 is a game that we didn't even finish.
Oh my! I was not in on this one. I finished
We
all
did
my
not
games,
even
so-
finish playing this game because
This
it was
sounds-
so good. It joined the ranks of my games I rate a 1.
Oh,
Apparently
dear.
there's only 9 of them, and this is one of them.
So number 10 on the number ones.
All right, here we go. It is a game called Rally Roll. Yes. So if you've ever played Zombie Dice.
Okay.
So basically it's a push your luck, you're rolling dice game. But for whatever reason, Zombie Dice works for me.
Yeah.
This is basically almost a variant of Zombie Dice in a way. Basically, you're rolling 3 dice, 3 small dice, 1 large dice. The 1 large dice rolls a particular color. There's 3 different colors: green, orange, and gray. I'm giving too much justice to this game telling you how it plays. Green, orange, and gray on 1 die. And then the 3 small dice have the same colors: green, orange, and gray. But there's different ratios. So there's 1 green, 2 orange, and 3 grays.
I'm already losing interest.
I know. So you roll the large die tells you what color is going to score, and the small dice is how many points you get. The problem is if your large die and the small dice do not match at all, you bust.
So that's going to happen like most of the time.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well.
It's about 50-50.
That sounds boring. And you know what? Neutral has a point. Zombie Dice has a theme. What's the theme for this one?
Colors. Anyway, let's move on. It was horrible. I do not recommend. 0 stars. All right.
All right.
My number.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
My number 19 is a
Number 19.
game called Walkie Talkie.
So did this make it to a 2?
I think I can rate. Oh, I do have ratings.
Did you rate
so
it?
Rally
Did you
Roll
rate
was a
it?
1. Walkie Talkie's a 3.
Oh.
Just because it piqued my interest for like a split second.
Okay.
For a hot
And-
minute. And then I was like, this game's broken. Anyway, so what Walkie Talkie is you have these cards in front of you. There's letter cards and there's color cards. So you have various letters and various colors in front of you. There is a discard pile that's letters and colors. So basically, let's say that a letter B is in the discard pile and I play a orange. I got to name something that is orange that starts with a B.
Butterfly.
Butterfly. And then you try to get rid of all your cards. There's the entire game.
Yeah.
The problem is there's arguments that ensued almost immediately because
we all broke it right away because we're like,
let's say you have the letter C and you have all these color cards in front of you. Well, a coat could be purple, a coat could be orange, a coat could be green. You go coat.
well, I
coat,
think you're supposed
coat.
to pick a different word every time.
I don't know.
But
We broke the game within seconds. Arguments ensued, and yeah. Anyway, it was interesting. I think you would have to go in this with a pile of house rules on how you're going to play this
yes,
game.
that's true. Because we had fun blanking out too. I would get like, well, you could pass your cards. I remember that. If you got stumped, you could have everybody rotate the cards.
Yes,
Remember?
and you can flip the cards over and switch from numbers to color. All your letters become colors, and all your not colors
so it's
become
like,
letters.
oh, I can't figure out something that begins with X. Here, you deal with it.
And it's timed. You have a certain amount of time to get rid of all your cards, and you get points for harder letters, give you more points. There's a game there somewhere. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't find it. Let's move to my number.
That's a
number 18. I guess we're on 18.
Yep.
I rate this one a 4. It's called Taco Cat Goat Cheese
Okay,
Pizza.
I'm going to throw hands with you on this one. I loved this game.
All right.
This game is fun.
I'll just say I rated it a 4.
You better have.
And we'll let Rebecca talk about Taco Cat
Okay,
Goat Cheese Pizza.
this is a silly little hand slap party game, okay? So if you're not into hand slap party games, you're not going to like it as much. I thought it was hilarious. I had fun with this. You just,
I thought it was hilarious until blood was drawn.
that's every hand slap game. It's not a good hand slap game unless blood was drawn. But yes, apparently we discovered there was a sharp edge on the table. Of course, poor Nessa was the one that found it first. But so you have these cards, and they have pictures of tacos, cats, goats, cheese, and pizza. But they also have some other random stuff.
No, they're
like a narwhal, and a
oh my gosh,
I don't remember the other two.
Gorilla.
Oh yeah, you have a gorilla, and you'll know why I'm doing these hand gestures.
Narwhal and monkey. What's the beat on the table?
A mole or something?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Okay, so there's three. Like, there's a reason I'm doing this. So you're trying to. Everyone's got. You divide all the cards up, and then you're throwing them down, and everyone's saying taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza, and if you're going in a circle doing that. And if the card that comes out is the same as the word that you're saying, everyone slaps, and the last person, it's kind of like Old Maiden that way. The last person to slap in is going to take all the cards. You're trying to get rid of your cards. But if there's one of the weird ones, the narwhal one, you have to like make the sign and then slap and stuff. So everybody's like freaking out, and it was hilarious. You'd see the narwhal come up, and then we're in a frantic. So like 100 people over there going, ah, and then like this is like, oh wait, wrong animal, you know. It's a great late night game. It was hilarious and stupid, and we loved it.
I did laugh. That's the only reason I got a 4. The only reason I gave it a 4 is I laughed a couple of times.
It was one of the I like the silly hand slap games. This is a great late night.
Not only is it hand slap, it is dumb gestures.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Let's move on from taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza.
It was fun.
2.
But it is not for everyone. That is one of those just silly slapstick party games.
So, number 17, I rated this a 4 as well, but I like it slightly more than taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza. And that is
you said that so well.
Ouch.
You liked Ouch better. Interesting. I liked Taco Cat.
At least
better.
there's a game there.
All right, fine. Talk about Ouch, Mr.
So Ouch is a set collection game, I guess it is. So there's all these cards out in front of you in a tableau, and there's little flowers, different color flowers printed on them. There's a certain number of flowers on the card. Let's say there's 2 flowers on the card. That means 2 of the edges of the cards will have cacti on them, and 2 edges will be safe.
No, it was cute. I liked this one.
So you basically pick an edge, like I'm gonna pick it up from this edge, and if you pick it up and there's no cactus, you get the card. If there's a cactus on there, then you get ouched. You get ouchied, and you don't get the card. So it's basically you're doing that. I pretty much told the whole game. There's a few other rules, but you're collecting all these cards. You get the set collection and points for the number of flowers you get.
Really cute.
It's crazy, lucky, crazy, but there is crazy. I like reason I like it a little bit more than the taco, cat, goat, cheese, pizza game is that there is a little bit of mitigation there. Like if you want to go for 1 flower, then your odds are you're pretty good chance you're gonna get it. But if you go for 3 flowers, you're probably not gonna get it. So there's kind of a pressure luck kind of thing going on there.
Yeah.
So
this would be a cute one to introduce to families and stuff too. Like you just another one of those very highly portable, cute little card games and stuff. I really like that. It takes 30 seconds to teach the game.
It's all right. It's really cute. It's just not my kind of game. All right.
But there's no slapping.
There's no slapping, so thusly it was rated slightly higher. Move on to my number 16. I rate this a 6, but I rate it a 9 for kids. So if this was a kids game, it'd probably be my top 3 if I'd rated it on the kids rating. But I rated it on me, and that is...
Is this what I think it is?
Tongues Out.
That is so cute. Oh my gosh, this is the cutest little game.
So I rated a 6 for adults playing, I guess, with their kids. I rated a 9 for kids playing. It is a really good, cool game.
The little puppies, they're like yay big around, and they're squishy. And the theme for the game was the puppies got into the candy, and each of them stole a lollipop. And so their tongues are the color of the lollipop, and you're trying to figure out which puppy ate which lollipop or something. Right. So it's a little memory game, but you're squishing on the little puppies, and their little tongues come out. Oh my gosh, and it's such a cute, they're fun to play with. They're funny to squish, and you stick the tongue out. And we were all playing with them. Nessa loved it too. I mean, we all like had a really fun time playing with them.
So yeah, it's just a generic memory game, but the little squishy little puppies are hilarious. It's an awesome kids game. So
yeah, really,
and you can play
really
different levels. You can play where it's just a straight memory game. First one to collect 6 wins. You can play. You roll in dice, and you got to find the colors of the dice you roll. But you can play in a more advanced game. You're stealing from each other, which makes it last a little bit longer. And it's actually challenging for adults because after a while, you're like, what colors are where? And the people keep stealing from each other, and they're going like, it's almost like a shell game, figuring out where they are. But the super basic game, young kids could play it. 3, 4, 5-year-old kids could play it. So.
And it was funny, but our damage is like COVID brains, you know. We're going there and going like, oh, well, where is it again? You know?
I just gave up. I'm like, I just randomly just pushed.
Oh my gosh, it's an adorable game. You should look up the pieces.
Tongues out. All right, my number 15. Number 15 is a little card game. I give it a 6 as well, and that is Builders. The Builders Middle Ages. The Builders Middle Ages. You remember this game?
Yes.
So basically, you're trying to build little buildings. You do that by hiring workers. The workers have different skills. Like some are good at doing, I don't know, art. When other good at doing crafts or whatever, arts and crafts. But anyway, so you basically each worker will have a certain number of symbols next to them. Maybe they can do this skill. They have 2 points in this skill and 3 points in this other skill. But you have a building, and buildings have lots of different skills in it. Like it may need 5 of one point, one kind, 4 of another, 3 of another, and you're basically assigning workers to that building until you have every skill covered with the number of workers.
I like this game.
So it's like an efficiency puzzle. Like if I need 5 of a certain skill, then I need to get a really good worker that's really good at doing that. So you're hiring these workers, but hiring workers are wasting your actions. So if you're hiring workers and doing all these other things, you're not building. So it's kind of this efficiency puzzle, which is the only reason I rated it a 6 is because I enjoyed that part of it. But it seemed kind of abrupt, and I don't know. It was random, but not random. It just seemed kind of lucky. The right workers happened to come out, and the right buildings that happened to match up with your workers came out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it reminds me of some of those like efficiency games that you find on apps on your phone and stuff. But it was like a board game, like a card game version of that. And it was kind of fun to physically play it. But you're right, there's a bit of an abruptness to it. But it's a lighter, it's not like a super heavy game or anything. Like it's got just a light little element to it. So there will be some randomness, but that's part of the game is what do you deal with what you have and how you manipulate it to make it work and build buildings. And I liked it.
It was all right.
It's got a lot of good little game to it.
It's all right.
That's a fun one. Bro Force. Yes, Bro Force is number 1 for sure.
It's all right. All right. We're on 14, right?
Yes.
Number 14. Let's see if I can find it here. Can you find 14? There's 14. Look at that. Number 14 is another light card game.
I can read.
It is called Veggies.
Oh, yeah. I liked Veggies.
So Veggies actually look pretty good. This is a 6 bordering. Kind of we're getting closer to 7s at this point. I really enjoyed it, but it made me a little angry.
Stinking mice, man.
No, it's not the mice that made me angry.
Oh,
What's weird?
Mice made me angry.
So Veggies, it reminded me. Everybody compares it to like a smartphone in terms of putting these cards, you're overlapping them and picking what symbols are overlapping and stuff like that. And you're getting groups of different kinds of vegetables, and you're trying to make contiguous groups. But you also want separate groups. So you take your largest group, let's say it's 5, and then you count the number of groups you have, and you multiply those together in your score. So you want like one large group and then a bunch of small little groups. What drove me crazy is you score your largest group, but then everyone else also scores that same group of vegetables. And Rebecca will score her largest group, but then everyone else will also score those. So I would watch what everyone else is doing. I would go, oh, Rebecca's gonna go for mushrooms. I'm gonna do a little bit of mushroom stuff. And then the last minute she puts a card and changes, and now it's not mushrooms, it's blueberries. And I'm like, what? Anyway, so that happened. So because the gamer wife was going for one thing, and she last second switched it to something else. And I'm like,
Sneaky
what? It's pretty sneaky, but
her gaming was at 11.
But
it's cute. Yeah, the art's really cute for this, and it does.
Speak of the devil.
It's like the smartphone manipulation where you cover. I like that. I like the fact that you don't have a specific way you have to cover. Like there's a variety of different ways you can cover up the cards and stuff. The mice are what got me. Maybe I'm just triggered by mice this year. I can't imagine why.
Mice. Of mice and men. All right. let's move on to my number 13.
I'm going to do some.
My number 13, I give this a 7. Like I said, Veggies is right on a 7, so the next one is a 7.
Oh, okay.
And that is Marvel X-Men. Marvel United X-Men.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Marvel United X-Men. So this is a co-op game where you're fighting the forces of evil as the X-Men. We fought against, who was the evil guy that we killed?
Oh my gosh, my brain. I don't even, Hunter's like, do you remember this? And I'm like, yeah.
Who did we fight?
Who did we fight, guys? Do you remember?
Oh, it was the Wolverine's enemy guy.
I'm so bad. I
don't know what it is. Wolverine's. Sabretooth. We fought,
yes. Okay,
fought
thank you.
against Sabretooth.
Thank you.
And I was Professor X with my hover round. And I was hover around fighting against Sabretooth. Anyway, it's okay. It's super light. This is like family weight. Super light.
Which is cool because that's going to bring a lot of people into it, right?
Super light. I enjoyed it. It was okay. It just seemed, I don't know. It just seemed really light.
I can see that.
It was all right. It was all right. It was good.
I liked it. I think
if you want a light family weight cooperative game with a Marvel theme, this is it.
I think so.
Of course, I don't know how many games will fit in that bucket.
There's probably a lot anymore, but I think this one's pretty solid. I think it's well designed, and I think it'd be fun to try with we didn't play it with the mat, but the mat, I saw that one out on a table later on after we had played it, and the mat is ginormous, but it looked really cool.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's neat on a table because it's kind of like
that seemed like that was a deluxe supersize.
I'm sure it probably was. It's like crazy.
Anyway, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, it's not I'm not a co-op player, but I gave it a 7. So
I was gonna say I'd say
so people like co-ops will love it probably.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
All right, let's move on to my number 12. I think it's 12. No, 11. 11.
Uh-oh.
So confused.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many games.
There is a lot. That's what are you looking for?
Let's make sure
12. So you need 11.
I somehow skipped 13. Did I skip one? I think I skipped one.
I don't know. I can't see your fingers in the way. Yeah, 13.
I skipped 13. Let's backtrack to 13.
Oh man, none of you called them out on it. I'm impressed.
I give this one a 6.
We're all tired, I guess.
That's life.
Hey, wait, whoa. That was not what it was called.
It's Verflixt.
They have the German version.
It's German.
In the library.
So we played this one with the infamous Z Garcia. He always picks a random crazy game to play with us on Sunday, and we played a random crazy game on Sunday. So this is a roll and move game with a little strategium involved. It was so you're basically moving your pawns across the board, and you're landing on certain tiles. Some tiles are positive, some tiles are negative numbers. And there's one tile, so there's a certain kind of tile that makes you change one of your negatives to a positive. So sometimes it's good to have a big negative number if you can flip it to a positive. But the trick is you're moving these tiles along this little track here, but you only pick up the tile if you're the only person that leaves. So if you're the last person to leave a tile,
then you get
or the only person to leave a tile, you pick up that tile, and that shortens the track. So the track keeps condensing down. And once all your pawns get to the far side, then you're done collecting tiles, and then you add up all your tiles. Negatives are negatives, positives, but those special tiles get to flip one negative to a positive. So it's kind of a game of chicken. Basically, everyone will land on. You'll have a high point tile. Everyone will just sit there and wait and try to be the last one to leave. And eventually,
staring each other down.
Eventually, you're forced to leave, and then whoever's the last person to leave gets to pick up the tile. And if you're on a negative tile, you want to sit there and wait and hope someone lands on it so that you can leave without having to take it. So it's actually got some strategy for a light kind of roll and move. I mean, you're literally rolling a die, and moving that number of spaces with one of your pawns.
Yeah, it was
but
funny.
There's some strategy, and there's some little guard tokens that you can move around potentially, and it can help you. Like if you can get one of them to land on your space when it's a bad tile, it counts as a thing being there so that you can move off of it. So it's got a lot of strategy for a little abstract roll and move game.
It was really cute too. Nessa destroyed us on it. Yep. She won. A little shark.
Nessa did win. She held out the longest and got a lot of good tiles.
She did.
Because everyone else was
fighting each other.
Everyone else was forced to leave, and she was able to pick up a bunch of good tiles right at the end.
She did. She played well.
So anyway, I skipped that. So my 13 was That's Life. I give it a 6. My 12 was X-Men. Marvel United X-Men. I gave it a 7. And now we're to my 11.
There you go.
I've caught up. So something wasn't right. I'm like, something not right. Cthulhu, Death May Die. So I give this a 7 for a few reasons. One, it's cooperative. And if you watch this channel, you know how I feel about those. But I think I saw Hector the Turtle in the thing.
Yes,
he decided to crank this up to difficulty 11 and say, oh, let's just play the hardest one the first time we played. And we got trounced.
Nuked.
But it was partially our fault because we panicked because it looked like we were going to lose the scenario like horribly. But the cards were stacked in such a way that it looked all the bad, really, really bad cards were up at the top. I'm like, panic. We just panicked. It's like, oh, we're going to lose. So we started like running past monsters and trying to do everything we could to get the win. But we just happened to the deck. That's one of the reasons I don't like cooperative games. The deck was stacked against us. It like all the horrible cards were at the very top, and we took that as indicative of the entire deck, and it was not. It was we got really bad cards at the top, and we panicked based on that.
Well, but that's
cards.
the thing. I mean, unless you were really, 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 really familiar with the game, you're not going to know.
Yeah.
So there's no way.
Yeah, we had no way of knowing.
Oh,
It's
the
like
worst is behind us now. We got this. You know, I mean, had we realized that, we would have kept plugging through and probably done a little bit better. But since we're like, wow, this is over.
So these little villagers
like,
were like marching to their doom, and every card we got was moving them closer to their doom. And they're like, so we were just running past the monsters, trying to kick the villagers from going to their doom, and
they were gonna stop.
Unknown to us, we could have methodically worked our way in and rescued them and pulled them out. But the way it looked like it, they were just all going to. They were like cattle to the slaughter. They were just running to their death.
It was just like the floodwaters were just pushing them away.
And I looked at the deck. I think there was 4 or 5 cards that moved.
We got them all.
And we got 4 of the 5 cards in the first 7 rounds of the game. So there's only one more movement card through the entire rest of the monster deck.
We're like, oh.
So we completely panicked and freaked out. And it was kind of funny looking at it after the fact.
Yeah,
but
at the time we're like,
at the time, I was like, this is impossible. There's no way to win this. Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Yeah, Hunter was like threatening to take the boat and go. He's like, it's terrible here, guys.
I don't know about you guys, but I am out.
You and the one guy we rescued were like gonna swim.
I rescued one villager, got on the boat, and I drove off. Everyone else died.
It's so funny. We were getting to the point where like, should we like do a fireman, like what do they call the fireman line where you pass the bucket of water? We're like, okay, you rescue the dude and
we
pass
just
him.
couldn't figure out what was going on.
There's just too much movement.
It's just like pandemic. The deck can be stacked against you, and you're just toast. So
we did. We chose the best option for what information we had, absolutely, but it was not the best for the whole overarching thing.
We got one guy. We saved one of the 6
We
villagers.
saved 1.5. That last dude was standing right there on the dock. I
drove away.
And he was like, bye.
I'm out. All right, let's move on to my top 10. The top 10 games I played. Number 10.
Woot.
Let's see, they're all 7s. Oh, no, 7 are better. They're not all 7s. My number 10 is a game we own. Someone wanted to try it out, so we taught them, and we played Fantasy Realms.
Yay! Yeah, that was fun.
So Fantasy Realms is just a kind of a combo hand management game. So you start with a hand of 8 cards. You're trading out cards, trying to build the best combo-tastic hand of cards at the end of the game.
Combo-tastic.
And whoever has the best combo-tastic hand wins.
Bucket Brigade. Thank you, Kabuki.
So it plays really quickly. It's like a 20-minute game. Super easy to teach, super easy to play. It's a good one.
Yep.
All right. Nothing more to say about that.
Right?
All right. My number 9 is a roll and write. What? Another roll and write I play? You are correct. It's Imperial Settlers roll and write.
You know what? Yes.
I'll actually play this game. It's actually pretty good. If you like roll and writes, this is a solid game. I don't like roll and writes that much, but
he's being corrupted.
Now there's 2 roll and writes I will actually play. That is Imperial Settlers roll and write and Hadrian's Wall. That's 2 games, 2 roll and writes I will play.
We got you. The roll and writes have now got their claws in you.
Anyway, this one's pretty good. I like roll and writes.
No,
I'm not a fan of roll and writes where you just roll dice and you mark off some things, and I get a purple star, so now I can mark off this thing over here. I like games where you build up and you get powers and you become more powerful, you get special abilities.
Yep.
This one is like Hadrian's Wall light. So basically you can build, you can choose to just mark off junk like you do in a normal roll and write, but there's little buildings you can build that give you kind of superpowers, and you can choose, okay, Am I going to build this building to give me this power? At what point do I build it? Do I build this one early? Do I wait till later in the game to build this? So I like games that it's just not, you have some choices other than just marking off things, right? Yeah, I can do this or I can do that. So I built a lot of the buildings, and I enjoyed that part of it. It's like, oh, cool, now I can do this special thing.
Well, and what's neat is it still had very much the Imperial settlers feel to it. I thought they did a nice job of that.
Resource management, building buildings, things like that.
And it's got the same art and everything else, of course, you know, and I really liked that. It was pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah, and it was exciting that was the game that they were giving away for the...
Later.
Oh, my bad. Spoilers.
All right, what was that? My number 9? My number 8. Our number 8 game. Are we to the 8s yet? That would be convenient. 8 would be an 8. That would be pretty good, wouldn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. I can't find it.
It's right there.
It's a 7.
Ah!
Rebecca would probably give this game a 9.
You have misjudged this game as well, sir.
Another roll and write.
This is what?
It's another roll and write.
This is one of my
Give me that. It's not. It's just a write. It's not even a roll and write. Oh, there is a roll.
No,
there is a die.
No, it's roll and write.
So Rebecca absolutely loved this game. So I'll let her talk about it.
One of my favorite games at the con. Okay, this is a party game, and when it was first being plugged to us, we're like, "What is this?" Everyone gets passed a piece of paper that has 100 potatoes on it. And your goal is to be the first one to label all of them numerically, like writing 1 through 100. And you're like, what? No, this does not sound fun. Here's the thing. There's one pencil in the whole game, and you cannot get extras. And there's a big chunky piece of die, like a die. And there's going to be one person who's it, and they have to write and label these potatoes frantically while everyone else is taking turns rolling the die. And here's what the die does, because it will have you knock on the table, which is really distracting for the person writing, or it'll have you pass the papers around to the left, so you're yanking papers out from underneath and you get a random new paper, which could be good or bad.
Right.
And then the best one was the gimme that, where you yank the pencil out of somebody's hand and you get to start writing. It was crazy, frenetic, fun. We had so many people come by the table while we were playing that going, what are you playing? What is this? In fact, later on, Nessa thought it was so funny. We were standing in a line somewhere and they're like, hey, are you guys the gimme that people?
Gimme that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one of those where you watch, you're like, what is happening? We were just cackling. It was hilarious because you're just rolling the dice like crazy and people are screaming and scribbling and give me that. I mean, it was.
My favorite part was one time I rolled the die
magical.
and I got the pencil, which is a gimme that. And I reached over to Game Wife and I said, give me that. And I yanked the pencil and they actually threw the pencil up in the air. I had to scurry over and get the pencil and scurry back to the table.
It was fantastic.
I launched the pencil up in the air. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, it's a happy salmon roll and right. That's a pretty good way to put it.
That's a great way to describe a troll.
That's a good way to put it.
It was magical. It was so magical.
It was fun. It was fun. The only reason I give it a 7 is because it's fun. But the game itself there's not much there.
Oh, you don't need to. And that's the thing. Honestly, you need to get that game at some point because now that I think that's going to be my new con game. I'm going to go get a players wanted sign and I'm just going to walk around and subject random people to this
give me
game.
that?
Yes. There's even okay. The other thing that's really cool. There's stickers.
Do I need to put
of
the picture back up?
Yes, put the picture back up. Sell that. This is gold, hidden treasure, under the radar. No, it had stickers in it, and so Bailey won, and so we had her put a sticker on her badge. So people were asking her, "Where'd you get that?" Stickers all the con. It was so good.
Gosh,
it's like, wow,
crazy.
You have to play this game.
All right, my number 7. We've arrived at the 8s.
No, it's not, Tommy.
With just one. Just one.
Just one.
This is the first game of the convention, I think. Was it the first game of the convention?
Possibly, yes.
I think it was. Might have been the first game of the convention.
Warming up with it.
We just played just one. We checked into the convention and played just one. So it was just it was Gaming Wife and Hector and Nessa and me and you played just one.
Well, I also had another play with a whole different set of people later on too. Later. Yeah. So I've played it several times. Actually, I played this a lot because we played round after round after round.
Oh, really?
The other yes, we had a lot of fun with it. So
it's a good little party game.
Yeah, Tommy, you were with me.
It's
when we did
one of my fave party games.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on to my number 6. We already at number 6. We're at number 6.
Nice. Let's roll.
This is one of our games. We taught it to some people who hadn't played it before, or one person hadn't played it before. That's Creature Comforts.
Wait, what did you have this labeled as 6? I'll accept it.
I gave it it's 6. That's pretty good.
It is.
I give it an 8. Nessa would probably give it a 10. Rebecca would
Yes.
probably give it a 9.
This is Nessa's, I think she said flat out was her favorite game that she played at the convention.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a good little family gamer family
Yep.
weight game.
Yeah.
It's just like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, that kind of thing. You're building up a little cottage and you put nice little furnishings and stuff in it, trying to get the most victory points. But
It is stinking
dice
adorable.
placement,
Stinking
adorable. It's got some good mechanisms. It's a good solid. It's a solid little game.
It is.
All
It
right.
can get a little long sometimes, but
You can do a shorter version of the
that's
game.
true too. There's
It's a little long
Although for the-
4-player.
the-
4-player is a little long.
I don't think there's a short version for the 3-player.
You can always take cards out.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, take round cards out.
Gaming wife. Now we know.
You can take round cards out.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, if you like Stardew Valley, TJ, you'd like this game. It's cute. And the art is ridiculously adorable.
My number 5. Where's number 5? My number 5 is technically we didn't play the board game. Kind of, not, maybe. Played Wits and Wagers. So every Dice Tower, every convention really that Dice Tower runs, they do Wits and Wagers shows where everybody breaks off in teams and plays Wits and Wagers, and
so good.
chaos ensues. So both games,
Magical.
This game.
Yeah, you went to both.
I went to both. Rebecca only went to one. Both games, we were dominating at one point and then ended up getting destroyed at the end. So the first game we played, which is our crew, and then
Team Dinner Theater.
dinner
represent.
theater team, and then
We were
the
great.
second game I played with some people and Pete Shirley
I
of
love
Shark fame.
Of Shark fame.
Of Shark fame, and we were destroying everybody, and then we got cocky and lost all
Got
our
destroyed?
points. Yep. We were annihilating everyone, and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna just destroy," and we messed up horribly on a question and lost all our chips. Well, we lost all but 2 chips.
That was.
We worked our way back to not last place.
That's.
Anyway, Which Wager is a blast. It's a trivia game, trivia mixed with gambling. You're guessing, you're answering a numerical question, and you're guessing on who among all the people got it correct, and you have odds and all sorts of gambling stuff. Fun little game. I like it. The shows are always hilarious, though. Fun.
Oh my gosh, they're so much fun.
All right. In the top 4, number 4. We're still in the 8s with Raiders of Scythia. So
I didn't play this one.
So this is a
Do tell.
reprint, retheming, redoing of Raiders of the North Sea.
Okay.
If you've played Raiders of the North Sea, there's a couple of expansions for it that are really good. Raiders of Scythia kind of takes the best parts of the expansions and puts them into a new game and added some new mechanisms. I greatly prefer this over Raiders of the North Sea, but we haven't played with the expansions, so I can't speak to the expansions. But comparing Raiders of the North Sea with Raiders of Scythia, there's not much of a comparison.
Okay.
Raiders of Scythia.
Okay.
Scythia? I'm not sure. I'm not pronouncing it
Scythia.
wrong.
Yeah.
Much better. I enjoyed it. I would, if we really played Raiders of the North Sea and really enjoyed it, I would probably swap out.
Yeah.
But we don't really play it that much.
Enough to
so it doesn't
warrant the trade.
justify
Okay.
swapping them out.
Okay. Is it still?
But
Oh, you moved them. They used to be right.
see what Carl.
Yeah, I saw Carl put. I saw you, Carl.
So anyway,
Stealing them away to play video games.
if you're buying for the first time, this is the one to get over Raiders of the North Sea.
Okay, that's cool.
And it
That's
saves you
interesting.
buying expansions because apparently it has the best parts of the
Stuff in 'em.
expansion. Plus more. All right.
Plus more. But wait, there's
Move on
more.
to my number 3.
Interesting.
The last of the 8s.
Ooh.
A high 8. Almost a
Ooh.
9. Another co-op game. What is this? People say I don't play co-ops.
Can't say that anymore.
Return to Dark Power.
Epic. Okay.
Return to Dark Power.
Epic. Okay. Seriously epic. We had the most. This was one of the most epic endear moments for a board game we've had in a while.
It's a classic co-op. Flip one card to win or lose.
Yeah.
And that's literally
we
what
got
it was.
down to the wire.
We flip the card. We either win or lose on this last card. So
That was fun.
it was good. I enjoyed it.
I was gonna say, how did it compare to? Because I have not played the original one. How did you?
It is
compare?
smoother. It is easier to teach, easier to play, easier to manipulate, everything. But who doesn't like 80s electronics? So
Well, and supposedly too, you could change the settings so it would play the old sound effects.
the
and
old
just like,
sound
like
effects.
Stop Thief and all
Yes,
this.
yes.
Restoration does such a good job with that.
So it's an app-driven
Well done.
Bluetooth tower that rotates and spins and does lights and sounds and noises and all sorts of fun stuff.
Oh my goodness.
It's got a pretty well-balanced co-op game. It has lots of good choices.
You're leveling
You can
up your
adjust your
person.
challenge
Yeah.
level. It's
I love
a
those.
solid game.
Yep.
I don't know if it's worth whatever it costs to buy this thing, but I enjoyed myself greatly, and
Heck yeah.
I'm not a big co-op person, but it played really well, and I really enjoyed it.
It looks like the replayability is pretty darn high too. You know, just the way you can change up what characters and how you do your characters and stuff as you're leveling them up or giving them items and this and that. I thought that was really cool. So, and I like co-op games, but sometimes the adventuring ones, I thought, oh, this is going to go over here. Everyone's going to be like, okay, there's clearly an easy, optimal way to do this. You know, trudge, grind through this. It wasn't like that at all. I think it had a lot of
you
great
level
choices.
up your character. You can get items and equipment, and build up armies, and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah, so
It was good. I enjoyed it.
excellent.
For a co-op, it is solid.
Right? It's true.
All right. We did the top two. I played. All right, so one I've already played. The other one I have not.
Ooh.
My number
Interesting.
2, I give it a 9. That is the infamous, the notorious, overhyped craziness that is.
Know what that is.
Ark Nova.
Yes.
So I taught Ark Nova, and we played it, and it was fun. I enjoy it. It's
I like this
it's
game.
a solid Euro game. I don't think it's necessarily the whatever it is, 7th or what is probably 6th or 5th now. Last time I checked, it was 7th best game of all time.
Okay, people are going insane.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good. It's a good game,
It's
but
a good game, but I don't know if it's one of the best
Calm
games
down.
ever
yeah,
designed.
calm
but
down, people.
It's really good. It's solid Euro game. Animals. I think that someone finally got the animal theme and a heavy Euro and combined them.
Combined it well.
It's always
so.
most of the animal games have been
Lighter. That's true.
and
That's
family
true.
weight, and this one is animals but a heavy game behind it, which no one's done yet. And got some interesting mechanism with how the car
Yeah,
action
good
selection
choices.
works, and
Yeah,
it's a solid game.
it's fun.
It's
But yeah,
solid.
it's crazy hyped. So, goodness. But yeah. So, did we take that, or was that one you just got from the library kind of
It
thing?
was Hector the Turtle's copy.
Oh, okay. So it was somebody else's copy then. Okay.
Yep.
I was curious. I was like, I don't think we brought that.
Nope.
All right. But yeah, it's one of those that I would never turn down and play for it. It's really solid. And I'm glad that I don't know about you guys. I'm not going to get tired of the animal theme. I like it.
It's the first one that's really heavy, and that's what I like about
Dominant.
it.
Yeah, like Neutral says dominant species, but
That's
that one's like,
it's not a Euro game.
it's not Euro though. That's like super
That's almost a
brutal.
war game.
Yeah, it is a war.
It's brutal. It has Euro. It has some Euro mechanisms, but it's very much a war combat fighting game.
Yeah, the game was pretty. Yeah, I think it was fairly close too. It was a pretty close game.
All right, and my favorite game of the convention
Yes,
was Terracotta Army.
I am excited to.
So this is
Hear more
the
about
latest in the T series from Boards and Dice. I think that's their name, Board and Dice. Boards and Dice.
Dyson
Dyson
boards, Dyson
Boards and Dice.
Dyson things,
Boards and Dice.
with Dyson things, and
Yeah, Board and Dice.
look at you.
Anyway, it's the latest T game. It's not out yet. Tom Dice Tower had a pre-production, pre-release copy of the game. It's coming out at Gen Con. I'm going to pre-order it for Gen Con pickup, and I'm going to get this because it is good. At first blush, it is my favorite T game.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa,
It
that's
is
huge.
really good.
That's
it has some really good
huge.
mechanisms, has really good choices. It has just enough of messing with people, the right amount of messing with people that I like in the game. Not so much that it makes people angry, but that you can kind of rain on people's parade a little bit. And I like that in games. What?
I don't know.
I like it. It's solid. I want it. I'm gonna buy it. It's great. It's
And
really
a T
good.
game that's easy to spell. You're right, Kabuki.
Terracotta Army. It is really good. It has just a lot of solid choices. The action selection's interesting. There's lots of ways to upgrade. There's lots of ways to differentiate yourself from other players. It has a really interesting scoring mechanism. So you're placing all these statues out in kind of a grid pattern.
Oh,
and there's like little tokens that move along the edge, like along the rows and the columns, and you can manipulate where those goes, and those are going to each era or year or whatever it is, you're going to score a certain row and a certain column, and you can manipulate that. So you can load all your guys in one column and hope you can get they're called inspectors to score that, but someone at the last second could move it over a notch, and you're like, oh. So and the in-game scoring is real cool. There's a really cool scoring. You scoring clusters of statues, certain types of statues. But the more people that are involved in that cluster, the higher the scores are going to be. So say that you have 10 archers that are all in one big group. If there's only one person in that group, you're going to get 1 times 10. But if you add a second person in there, each weapon is going to be worth 2 points. And if you have a third person that's involved in that group, it's worth 3 points. So you may have a lot of things in one group, and then no one wants to add to that group because they're going to increase all your ones you put are going to be worth an extra point. So it's got some really interesting scoring, really interesting. It's heavy, just like the other ones. I enjoyed it.
I love looking at it like visually. It's really pretty too. It's another one of their games where you look at the pieces going, I'm intrigued already.
It's interesting because it's a $50. If you order it online, it's about a $50 game, but it has probably 70 miniatures. But they used, I'm aging myself a little bit. They used the old school plastic style miniatures that they had in the games from like the 80s and 90s.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, they're a little bit nicer than that, but they're not like the resin high quality miniatures. So you got a bazillion miniatures to play with, but the game is still affordable, which is really cool.
That's actually really cool. I like that.
So that is my favorite game that I played. Rebecca did not play. I played this with a podcast called Beans and Dice. Never heard of them. I'll have to look them up. Beans and Dice. Beans and Dice.
Yeah, you know what? You combine anything with dice, you're going to have a good time, I guess. That's true.
So they were fun to play with. All right. So now we're going to move on to the games Rebecca played without me. Woo-hoo.
I did play some without you.
You did play some without me. So let me flip this over.
Thank you.
I made her go worst to best. But, all right. So she played 7 games without me. Well,
8 technically, because I played that thing of just 1.
But
it was we both played just one.
Played
I got you. I'm just.
All right. Our number 7.
My number 7
is
a little tiny game
Kites.
called Kites. It's a beautiful game, but it's just not for me. I think I'm not a huge fan of the timer games, but I did enjoy it.
Oh, is this one where you're trying to keep your kites in the air?
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful game actually. And the premise is cool. It's just for whatever reason just didn't click as much with me. But we got a rhythm. We played a couple games of it, got into a good rhythm, and actually won. But I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of the timer games. It was really pretty though. What you do is you have all these different colored timers, and they match the different kinds of kites. Except for there's a white one that's like a wild, and depending on how you play your cards, and they have different. They're real basic. Like they'll have 2 different types of kites on the card, or if it's one. And each time those pop up, you have to flip the timers over, and you want to keep sand running through the timers. You don't want it to run out ever.
Okay.
So the white one's wild. So if you have just one card that has one color by itself, you can choose to do that color, or you can flip over the wild. So there's choices you have to make sometimes, and everybody's got to go in turn, and you're also getting cards. Sometimes
you want to think of this?
Something's running out, and you don't have that card, so you need to fly through and get to the next person.
Fly through. I like it. This is like a game that at some point I'll just go.
Yeah, I was gonna say this would not be. No, this would not be your speed.
Let's move on.
So, but it's pretty. It's a very pretty game.
It's a game we own.
You would like it.
Called Wavelength.
Wavelength. Play this with a group of peeps, and we had a good time with this. This one to me is not really a game. It's just like a casual, silly activity, and we treated it as such. We had a good time, and we didn't even take score. We didn't keep score with it. We were just trying to see if anybody could guess it together and stuff. And Wavelength, in fact, they even have a Twitter Wavelength. You can go play online. They do like a thing a day. So on there, it's got a nice little wavelength, and you spin it so that it'll pick a random spot. And it's on 2 edges of the spectrum, and then you get a random card, and it might say things that are cold versus things that are hot.
Right.
And you're gonna look, and if you're the person that's it, you're gonna peek and see where the wavelength landed. Okay, say it was 2/3 of the way through to hot. Then you're going to have to pick something that you think will help most everyone, not everyone, guess, kind of thing, like where it's at. You're trying to get it's like you want everyone to get in that spectrum so you can get the points. And so it's fun. It's a lot of fun to spark some interesting conversations. It's one of those is like, how well do you know the people at your table too? Right. So that's really fun. It was really interesting.
You can argue with
it.
each other.
Yeah, and it was fun too.
The sun is not 2/3 of the way hot.
Exactly. We had these arguments. We had a very
the sun is all the way hot.
Star Wars discussion. That was really funny. And then, but yeah, it was funny because I knew some people at this table, and then there were some completely new people at the table too. So that made a really interesting dynamic as we're playing this, because the people I didn't know also knew some of the people I did know well. Everyone's like playing to each other a little bit. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So Wavelength's a good one, but definitely play it as a casual.
All right, onward to Healthy Heart Hospital.
Yes. So this one reminds me a lot of, again, this is another one of those that almost reminds you of the clicky app games, where you're going in and doing stuff. It reminds me of those, but it's a board game version of it, and it's a hospital, and you get your doctors and stuff, and you unfortunately have to roll dice. I got
about halfway through the description of this game, and I went, I'm out.
This is not your stick. No, poor baby. It's you're rolling dice and you get the patients in, but you have to get them into the rooms. You only have a certain amount of space. But if you have to treat them at a certain amount of time, and if they die in the waiting room, you lose victory points. But if they die when you actually get them into a hospital bed, you lose more victory points. So then if someone's really near death, you gamble. You're like, do I move them? Do I let them just die in the waiting room? This is like horrible decisions.
I was in until I started realizing just how random this was.
Well, it was that because
super random. For a heavier, longer co-op game, it was crazy.
It was really bad. I killed everyone off. We died because I had it. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see I posted a picture. My favorite doctor I had it looked just like Julie Andrews. And she was Dr. Aorta.
Dr. Death.
And we nicknamed her Dr. Death because we even pumped her up. We tried to increase her abilities and stuff. And I rolled the worst dice and killed people. I had all these abilities and I should have been saving people left and right. I'd roll and I'd be like, well, that person just got worse. Oh, I think Dr. Aorta is listening to some sick beats or something and just slicing things. I don't know what's going on because
I was in for the first 5 minutes of the description and I'm like, oh my gosh.
It was rough. But it's a really fun game. It's one of those where you're balancing this and that, and you want to budget to fix things and make this, and you want to move people over at the right time to treat in the special areas and get the doctors that their specialty is this to go there. And I like that balance. It reminds me a little bit of Pandemic.
Yeah.
A little bit of that, just the way you want to keep everything balanced because there's that crazy dynamic of fighting, being overwhelmed. But the dice, they're gonna kill you.
All right, number 4, the infamous pitch car. Of the world.
That was fun. I went in and participated in the World Pitch Car Championship, which the only reward is bragging rights nowadays. I don't even have a cheesy ribbon. Not that I would have earned one this time. I landed respectably in the top third.
That's not bad.
So that's not too shabby.
I was dead last. I think I was fighting for last place. I think I got second to the last, and I'm my last shot or something.
Well, and the track that Tom had built, I swear he enjoys, if the track's a little janky or offset, he just leaves it.
Yep.
And he put
deal with it.
You remember the newer expansions? I think they kickstarted it or something that has that crazy loop-de-loop. Yeah. He put in a loop-de-loop, and then he also put in this ginormous hill that
the loop expansion is the best because you can do like a spinny thing. You can do wheels. You can do loops.
Tom made the loop-de-loop, but he also apparently he let the kids go through it fine. Yeah. But for the adults, he put a brick in the middle of it because he didn't want people cutting across. So you had to do the loop-de-loop or somehow find a way to do some amazing shot to bypass it, which was almost impossible. I think one person did, one, maybe two people did the whole game. Oh, it was hilarious. Yeah, the kids, this is what's funny. The kids, when they did the kids competition for it, they finished the race. They had people finish.
Yeah.
We didn't have anyone finish. We timed out at an hour.
Funny.
And that last crazy hill that he had, I don't think anybody crossed it.
I don't know how you would. There's like
Maybe
this
one
boat.
person
You'd have
did.
to almost shoot it up and somehow land.
Yeah.
I saw the track.
I flicked it after the game just to see if I could make it, and I made the hill on like my third try. So it wasn't too bad, but you got to be really careful. And that's assuming that, again, no one was in the way. When you're playing with 30 people, it was fun. I love doing that. Tom had all the roads that have the potholes.
Right.
His own wife fell in one of those potholes. He laughs, pushed it down, and let people drive over her and stuff. It was like...
That's hilarious.
It was too cute. I was the black gold car, so I was... Every once in a while, when my turn to come up, he'd be like, oil.
Well,
because I was like,
gold.
Texas tea.
Oh
Yeah, I was being stupid with it.
All right, let's move on.
We had fun. It was a good time. We always love those.
Block Ness.
This game is adorable. So Gaming Wife introduced this to us because we were like, I think she saw it and thought of Nessa. And so Nessa and her and I played this. It's a little abstract game where you're little Loch Ness monsters and you've got different pieces as you're coming in and out of the water. So, but they're like pipes kind of,
right.
But they're different shapes and sizes and heights and stuff.
Right.
And on the end of them, you have a head, a little piece, and a tail piece. And you can move a piece and add to your little monster from the head or the tail.
Oh, okay.
And you can cross over people, but you can't go under them. And so you're filling up this board with this grid and trying to make the longest one with all these weird, wacky shapes and stuff. And you couldn't go diagonally. It was a really fun.
Interesting.
The theme
Sounds
for this
interesting.
was really cute. It's an abstract game, but it's absolutely adorable. Like, it just looked really cute. I don't remember if you had. I think I took a picture of it. I don't know if you put it in.
I don't know if I did. I'm not sure if it made it or not.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was really cute. I think Gaming Wife went out and got that one afterwards because we had so much fun playing it. Yeah, it's an adorable game.
All right, onward to a game we own.
Nessa loved it too.
Star Trek Missions.
Oh yeah. This game is so much fun. This is very similar to Fantasy Realms, but it also feels different because Fantasy Realms on the cards, they have a face value. So you can give victory points off of the card, plus they usually have some kind of combo thing. Star Trek Missions got rid of the face value victory points. All of the points are based off of the combo abilities.
Right.
So on top of that, you have a Star Trek theme, and they did a pretty good job with that.
Transporters and phasers.
Transporters and phasers are with a specific character that has a good range with that.
Right.
All these commanders together and this and that, or you have to have an enemy and and all this stuff. So they have these different things. A lot more of a swingy feeling game because you don't know where you're landing unless you sit and really map it out.
You can't just glance your cards and go, okay, I got about 100 points.
Yeah.
Plus or minus my stuff.
Yeah, you have to
all
actually think
the combos.
it through. And it's a little more thinky, and I love the Star Trek theme. I like it better than the generic fantasy theme.
Right.
But like you said, it's much harder. I like having both games. I'm actually really happy to have those because they do feel like two different games.
Yeah.
So if you like that style of game, it's definitely worth getting both to me because they feel different with the way that they score.
They're pretty cheap.
And if you're a Star Trek fan, it's got great cards.
And last but not least, the Foundations of Rome.
Woo!
We've talked about this one before. And we'll talk about it in a minute. Interesting segue
Yeah.
to our next segment, which we're going to fly through because we're already over an hour in.
What?
Because we got a lot of games to talk about.
We do.
Where is it?
Come on, push that button. Push it. Stop.
All right. So we bought some things because this is a convention. We'll let Rebecca begin with all the junk that she bought. I use junk. Loosely. Why don't you start with the free game?
Okay. Game or games.
So Portal Games was one of the big sponsors of the convention. Ignazi had did panels almost every day about various things.
Stuff, yeah.
And Portal had lots of games. They were demo games, but they also gave out free games. And we got Nessa, Rebecca, and Hunter copies.
Ta-da! I'm actually stoked about that because of how much we enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm like, we could save this to give to a friend.
Right.
And I can take one to school.
Yep.
And we have one at home. So I'm actually really
So that
stoked
was the
about
free
that.
game. We weren't expecting free stuff because Tom is kind of pulling away from the whole giveaways and
They didn't have the big bags and stuff like they used to.
It's so much effort, so much work, and to be honest, a lot of the convention free games you get always end up in the coal pile. This one won't. This is actually a pretty good one.
No.
But I'd rather have one quality game than like 5 junk games that
Any day.
we're never going to play.
No,
so.
and this was fun, and I thought that was a really cool thing for Portal and them to do. I thought that was really awesome.
All right, onward to stuff you actually paid for.
Okay, so onward. We went to the Dice Tower booth, of course, and I got some cool little fun, neat, like nuclear colored green dice.
The
These are
double D6
The
dice.
double D6s that we love these, and I was like, Hunter needs some alien green dice because these are amazing.
Yes.
And then Nessa and I decided that we were going to get some cards because these are playing cards that have Dice Tower people on them. It's adorable. I don't know if you can see that or if the light's shining on them too much. But the backs have the little dice meeples, and then all of the face cards have Dice Tower, the art by what's-her-face that I just love her so. There's
Tina?
Osterwald.
Is her name Tina?
I think so, and
Tina.
I adore her art. Love it. See, there's little
Tina?
Osterwald. So cute. So yeah, but yeah, I love these are so much fun. Yeah, they do. They have Dice Tower people cards. So of course I went a little bit nuts when I saw those because I like to have decks of cards to play with my kiddos, especially at school when we get stuck with power outages and nonsense. And then Nessa was thinking about it. She's a little intimidated by the fact that this is a 1,000-piece puzzle, but I told her we were going to knock this out. This looks so cute. It's a puzzle with all the little Dice Tower crew minions, dice things, cute art. Again, I'm such a sucker for her art. I love it. And so I was like, this is a good price and go to the Dice Tower. So heck yeah, we're going to play it. I'm excited. Cannot wait to open that. And then Nessa and I were talking and she wanted to get something, couldn't decide what. And then I saw these. These are speckled eggs for Wingspan. We love to play with the little eggs the whole time we play Wingspan. Very, very much. Nessa's a sucker for yellow eggs, and they have yellow ones and white ones with speckles in here, so she was freaking out about those. We got some fancy speckled eggs because they're just...
They called fancy speckled eggs?
No, they're Wingspan speckled eggs, not fancy speckled eggs. They should be fancy speckled eggs, right? Fancy. Oh, yeah, and then Dice Tower, I forgot. I got the little meeple guy. You technically inspired that.
I did. This is the I Heart Game 3000.
Yeah, because they were looking for ideas, and that was one of the ideas you pitched, and they have the I Heart Games 3000. This is the little meeple that...
I was wearing my Heart Game 3000 shirt, and Tom said, no one ever buys these shirts. He says they only buy the main Dice Tower shirts.
Really?
They hardly buy
They don't buy the specialty ones?
Yeah.
Dude, I think those are my favorites.
Some people buy them, but they don't sell them.
Don't sell as much? I see. I like the cool kooky ones.
Keep going.
All right, let's see. I got some random freebie thing from Dice Tower, I think. I don't know.
We already have this.
Oh, do we? Well, it was a freebie. They shoved it in the bag. I had no choice. So there were also some vendors that did their own creations and stuff there, and one that I particularly
This is at the flea market.
Yeah, this was at the flea market on this really cool shale coasters. They did laser etching, and he did an awesome job on these. They're all viticulture themed, and I fell in love with these because they're really pretty, really nice, and Vidi Life. Look at that. Viticulture. You guys know that's my #1 game. I fell in love with those. He had cork ones, had a bunch of other ones. There were other people there that I got
I'm
like
worried
the
that these will
Etsy
just
stuff.
shatter in a million pieces if you drop them.
Oh yeah, they would. I mean, they're shale, so you got to be nice to them. But that's why they stay on like the game table or somewhere nice. I'm going to keep them, obviously. Then also at the flea market, got a little tiny Fake Artist Goes to New York. I've always wanted to play that. I heard good things about it from pretty much everybody. And it's a cute little highly portable game that I can just throw out there and teach whoever. So I'm really excited about that. And was this the flea market too?
No.
This was at one of the vendors.
Yes.
I believe.
You got it at Cool Stuff.
That's right. They had Fantasy Realms, and we were just talking about that. We had the Star Trek game and not this one, so we were pretty excited to get this one. And we already talked about this a lot. And then the other find I got at the flea market was Port Royal. They had it for dirt cheap, and I'm really excited about that. I think I got this one from Kenny, actually.
The infamous
Kenny. He had quite a few games because, again,
Kenny is a purveyor
years.
of games.
He is. I don't know how he does it. He had he had volunteers helping him. He had
he buys games at bulk at discount prices and then sells them at flea markets and stuff and makes money somehow.
He's amazing. But yeah, this one we learned, someone during the Dice Tower cruise, I think it was, taught it to us. Was it Trogdor? Might have been Trogdor.
I think it was Trogdor.
Did you teach us this Trogdor? Anyway, Port Royal, it's a lot of fun, and I was kind of excited to see it. There was one game that got snatched right from me, though. Justin from Restoration Games had a ginormous booth, and in the bottom on the floor was this ginormous box of Cleopatra and the Architect's Kingdom, or whatever that game is.
Yes, Architects of the West Kingdom?
Yes, and he had it for, I figured, a song and a dance, because he was trying to, I think he was giving proceeds to Jack Bassel or something, and he was doing all this stuff. I was actually going towards it, and this guy bent down and picked it up, and I was like, because I was too far away. It was not like I was fighting for it or anything.
He sold the original Fireball Island. He sold
the original old one.
Hero Quest. He sold a bunch of stuff.
He had a bunch of games, and he had, but it was a big box of it, and I was like, Hunter, I remember Hunter talking about this. I should get this game.
He got reprinted, but the reprint's not as cool.
I went for it. I tried, sweetie. But somebody else saw it.
You failed me for the last time.
There was all these games under the table. People weren't noticing them. And apparently the guy and I both saw them at the same time, and he was closer. And unfortunately, he really did know what it was and wanted it. It was sad. And then, last but not least, you went to the Dice Tower flea market.
Yeah.
It was just Tom's. And Hunter came back with, remember we played some Dominations? We talked about Dominations. Look at this. That's a lot of Dominations. Is this all of the expansions?
Supposedly. Good
grief, I hope so. How many more does one game need? Anyway, I know. So we'll see if they're worth getting those. We'll find out. Play some Dominations. More nacho chips.
And then we got some more stuff.
Oh no, more?
I bought Batoku. I finally gave in. I've been wanting to play this, and I've never had a chance to do it, so I'm like, I'll buy it and I'll play it at home.
Yeah, the game table that they were doing demos for this was never empty. Every time I went by, it was fully loaded with people playing.
So in the flea market, I walked by and I saw a game and I thought, maybe. So I keep walking. I come back through and I see the price on the game was actually raised. Usually you lower the price of games as time goes by on a flea market. They actually raise the price. Apparently the designer wandered by and signed the game and threw a promo in it.
That's amazing.
So this was Tom signed it. It's a person from his game group was actually selling it.
Oh, that's great news.
And it says,
I didn't realize
this guy shouldn't have sold this. TJ Vassal.
That's amazing.
So I've been wanting to play this forever, and I finally just bought it because it was super cheap. And
heck yeah.
And what's funny is when I went, I picked it up off the thing. I was handing the guy my money, and Tom ran up and says, "I'll give you $1 not to buy it." So
give you $1? What a dork.
So
amazing.
I got it. It went up $5. Don't go kid yourself. Tom didn't raise the price that much. And then I took out a small business loan.
Dun, 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 dun. My number one. Oh, you guys, it's still as magnificent and glorious as... You got to see this. I told you guys about it. Now you get to see it. Trays of greatness. You see this nonsense? Look at this nonsense. Behold the glory of Rome. Look at, I told you, look at the size of these buildings.
What's that again?
Look at the size of these buildings. Aren't they, look at this. Aren't they amazing? Yes.
Rome, actually.
Right. But all of the pieces are like this, and then the little individual player pieces are all uniquely shaped with different colors. For the yellow buildings, they all have yellow tags on the top.
They didn't have them. I had to
and
put them on there.
That's true. Hunter had some work
It took almost an
intensive.
hour to prep the game to play it.
He's hardcore. You're the best.
I know,
You
I'm
are
the
by
best.
far
I didn't
the
even
best.
play. I taught it. I
You
sat
did.
on the couch
You're
and
a
watched TV while
hero.
they played.
We'll play it.
Actually, I moderated and kept
No,
the game
you did.
moving.
You did. You were working at the time too.
Yes, I was working.
So yeah, this game, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
The question
amazing.
everyone wants answered.
Oh yeah, does it fit in a Calax? That's a great question. We're hoping so. I think exactly.
Here we're gonna do the test.
Barely?
Hold on. We'll do a test.
Maybe.
We'll do a live Calax test.
Ooh. Oh, I'm scared.
Here we go.
Boy, it's gonna be close. I didn't realize it was. Oh, there's room to spare. Look at that. You can put something up there, like a pad of paper.
We'll just leave it right.
Yeah, it does, but you can't get it out pretty much. Yeah, bonkers is a good one.
All right, and last but not least,
And now I have to call a game shelf because.
well, in the show, a Kickstarter came in while we were away.
Yeah. You guys that are hanging on to the bitter end get rewarded with a rando does it fit in the Calax game, and what is this? Oh, yes, the ancient world is on a roll. We got hippo crates. Hippocrates. Awesome. I'm excited about this. Although look at this, you can tell we have some punching to do.
It's all in.
Look at that.
But that's
Look at
all
that.
in crazy Kickstarter pledge
Oh
of doom.
man.
Deluxe Hippocrates. So we'll probably play
Hypocrisy.
this. We'll probably play this weekend, and maybe we'll play it live.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so much fun.
Maybe we'll play it live. But that's how we're going to end the show with a Kickstarter.
That's it.
So next time, 1 week from tonight, we're going to do our top 10. We don't know what it's going to be. I may put up a poll. I may not. Because I think Rebecca has some good ideas you've given us over time, and we'll probably pull one of those out.
Yes, that's true
So
too.
next week will be our top 10 something.
Ooh, how mysterious.
Top 10 ancient civilization games.
Ooh, I can get behind that one. All right. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.